Today we are going to talk a little bit about the birds which we are able to see on an expedition to Antarctica. Hi everybody and welcome to the Expedition Guide, the ultimate guide to expedition cruising in the polar regions. My name is Martin Berg and I am a biologist and work as an expedition leader for ocean-wide expeditions. Today we are going to talk a little bit about the birds which we are able to see on an expedition to Antarctica. When we think of Antarctica, we often think about penguins. But what some of you may not know is that there are so much more bird life to discover. At the start of the Antarctic expedition, of course, we need to cross the Drake Passage. And to many passengers, this is just a transit over to the White Continent. But in my opinion, this is the most exciting part of the expedition. This is where we are able to see some of the most exciting birds on the planet. Among the species we have a good chance of seeing is the wandering albatross. With its wingspan of 3.5 meters, it is the largest flying bird on the planet. We have grey-headed albatrosses, and then we have the black-browed albatross, and of course the southern royal albatrosses. Next to the albatrosses we have the similar looking but smaller petrels. Largest of the petrels are the giant petrels, and in the Drake Passage we have two species, the northern and the southern giant petrels. And then we have the storm petrels, which are in fact not larger than the common house sparrow which you have in your garden. Next to the petrels we have the smaller and slightly more elegant shearwaters. Most common is the sooty shearwater, which breeds in huge numbers along the coast of Patagonia. But we also have great shearwaters, which mostly breed on the Falkland Islands. Falkland Islands is the birdwatcher's paradise. Here you're able to find some of the largest black-browed albatross colonies, along with several other bird species rarely seen in other places in the world. The first thing you will notice when stepping ashore on the remote island of South Georgia is the massive number of king penguins. King penguins are not only beautiful to look at, they are also perfectly adapted to the harsh climate in the Southern Ocean. There are three bird species, or subspecies depending on how you look at it, that can only be found on South Georgia. That is the South Georgia shag or South Georgia cormorant. It is the South Georgia pintail and the South Georgia pipit. Once we reach the actual waters of Antarctica, we have a chance of seeing a bird species very high up on every birdwatcher's list, the elusive snow petrel. The snow petrels breed up to 300 kilometers inland on the Antarctic continent itself, but they frequently fly all the way out to the pack ice edge. And this is the best chance we have to spot one or two of these elusive petrels. So once we step ashore on the Antarctic continent itself, we have a good chance of seeing Antarctic terns, kelp gulls, and Antarctic cormorants. South polar skuas, brown skuas, and then we have my personal favorite, the snowy sheatbill. And then we have the stars of the show, the penguins. The most common species on the Antarctic Peninsula is the gentoo penguin, the chinstrap penguin, and the Adelie penguin. Last but not least, we have the mighty emperor penguin. We sometimes see the emperor penguins along the coastline of the Antarctic Peninsula, but the best chance to see them is on the pack ice deeper into the Weddell Sea. On sporadic trips, we take the helicopter to land on a safe distance from the emperor penguin colony at Snow Hill Island. From there, we will hike closer to, in silence, observe the spectacular wonder of nature. So hopefully you learned a little bit more about the bird life in Antarctica. If you want to know more, check out our website or drop us a comment in the section below. That's it for now. Thank you for watching and let's go exploring!